Can 100 unemployed men defeat one gorilla?
100 full-grown men are smoking a gorilla.
Maybe I'm confused. We're not talking about 100 random men from Earth. We're talking about
100 men or one gorilla. Ooh. 100 men in a circle.
100 men are not beating one gorilla.
How is this whole 100 men versus one gorilla debate even an actual debate?
My question is 100 men versus gorilla.
Oh my god.
This guy is stupid. Go on.
You're gorilla, obviously.
Thank you.
Obviously. Bro, I swear to you, it's impossible.
bro, 100 men that are willing to fight.
It's impossible. 100 men versus one gorilla.
The gorilla, man. Guys will run away.
I'm gorilla.
100 men versus one gorilla. Who's winning?
100 man.
Crazy.
100 men.
Gorilla.
Gorilla for sure.
Can 100 unemployed men defeat one gorilla? The answer is absolutely not. However, according to brain rot law, there's a 1% chance they do. So here's how it would go down. We have Gert go first, where he distracts the gorilla by saying, yo. This, of course, confuses the gorilla momentarily. And that's when we sacrifice the chopped shits, the ugliest among us. So once it's distracted, one brave man must sneak in from behind and grab the gorilla by its meat. Now stay with me. He must then proceed to beat its meat, which triggers a powerful biological event known as gooning. And after gooning comes the cooldown. That's when man and gorilla are most vulnerable. As a retired gooner, I can confirm there is always a cooldown period. And finally, Pack God arrives. He doesn't just roast the gorilla, he decimates its entire aura, causing it to collapse out of psychological defeat. That's how 100 unemployed men might beat one gorilla.
So you're telling me 100 men versus one fucking gorilla? That's like a question that we can't answer? No, I'm not saying answer we need to go do this right now. We don't gotta prove that. I'm saying, how the fuck is it even question? Of course we can fuck that motherfucker up! Bro, we will fucking game plan and kill him. All we gotta do is throw the weakest links at the front. Just have them, those people that say they see red, throw them on the front lines, have them throw a couple haymakers. They're gonna get fucked up, but maybe if we throw 40 of them on the front lines, right? First 40 of them, they land a haymaker, right? Gorilla gets a little fucked up. Then the people that actually might know a little bit of how to fight and defend themselves, whatever, we go in after and we finish that fucker off. No diddy.
Everyone keeps saying the gorillas would win, but actually the men would win, and I'll explain why. First of all, let's state the obvious. 100 men, one gorilla. He's severely outnumbered. Hello? Second, let's just go ahead and get this off the table. There's going to be at least 10 of y'all that die, okay? And as long as you guys are okay with that, then I think you can take him down. 10 out of 100, I don't think that's that big of a deal. Some of y'all are going to die because that gorilla is definitely getting his licks in, okay? That's just that. Now let's talk strategy. I think this is very doable if you guys all rush in on him at once. It never gave one at a time. It never gave single file line. You have to rush in on him at once and stomp him out like a roach. Now, the men who are chosen to take down this gorilla cannot just be any random man. We don't need Kevin that works at Pizza Hut. I'm sorry, because he's getting folded like a lawn chair. We need to bring out the bodybuilders, the men who are 250 plus, the men who are incredibly swole and strong, bring them out. The men who eat weights for breakfast, those are the men who need to be on the front lines. We can't just have an average Joe out here. Like I said, if you all just rush in on him at once, it is very doable. Granted, some of you will die, but that is okay. The point is not to see how many people live. The point is to see if 100 men can take down one gorilla. As long as the gorilla gets taken down, mission accomplished, right? Okay, there are a few fatalities. That is the price that you guys will pay. The last thing that's going to make this a fair fight for all the men involved is that it needs to be done in an enclosed cage. Because once some of these men start seeing people die, they're gonna want to coward out and run away because they just saw somebody get their arm ripped out of the socket. But when we put them in a cage, there will be no escaping, okay? It is fight to the death. That adrenaline is going to skyrocket and they will be inclined to fight to the death. There will be no running away. So I think it's very doable. You guys just need to be very strategic, okay?
Okay, let's get into it. One gorilla
gorilla versus 100 men. Well, let's do some simple math. The CDC's latest data says the average American male weighs about 199.8 pounds. Let's round it off to 200 pounds. 200 times 100 is what? 20,000. So 20,000 human pounds versus a silverback gorilla, big one, 600 pounds, 6 feet. So 600 gorilla pounds versus 20,000 human pounds. The humans win every single time right away. You forget human beings evolved to hunt in packs, okay? So the gorilla has to deal with, 97 dudes on his back, and we got 3 sacrificial lambs that attack from the front, okay? There's no gorilla on the planet. And first of all, another question. You ever check how a gorilla's cardio is? Huh? They're not cardiovascular animals. They sit on their ass and chew leaves all day, all right? So the gorilla goes from 0 to 100 right away. That's called adrenaline. That gorilla gets an adrenaline dump in about 1 minute, maybe 2. Then what? Oh, I know what. He can't even breathe, as the human beings have got him spread eagle and they're having him for din-din. You want to have a real conversation? 10 humans versus 1 gorilla. That's what I talked to you about. That's 2,000 human pounds versus 600 gorilla pounds. Now we have a conversation, because that gorilla is going to work. But again, he better get it done. He better kill or neutralize 2,000 human pounds in under 2 minutes. I don't think he can. Conversation have. I think 10 humans still beat 1 gorilla. Yeah, I said it.
A big question everybody's been asking is, can 100 men actually beat 1 gorilla? So I asked the AI to create a plan. A silverback gorilla can weigh up to 450 pounds, and it can easily kill a human in seconds. However, 100 men is a lot of people. You would have a front line of 20 men, and they would get killed probably immediately. They're the distraction. Then you have the flankers, about 30 men just coming in from the sides. Then you ended off with a swarm team, about 40 men just jumping and dogpiling. Then you have 10 men as the reserves. Anybody who gets killed or injured right off the bat, they go replace them. Easy dub for the 100 men.
Yes, 100 humans could absolutely take down a gorilla. 10 of them bloodlusted would take down a gorilla. There used to be 6-foot baboons on Earth 10,000 years ago. We brought them to extinction with groups of 25 to 50 of us, because we surrounded that guy and hit him from every single angle, letting each other know the best weak point. Yo, you get the toes, you get the eye. Oh no, they grab Phil, break his elbow. We like to tell ourselves we're the top predators on this planet, but that's a long way from true. There are dozens of things, not just gorillas, on this planet that humans should be scared of, but that's exactly why we are so dangerous. A real top predator wouldn't devise as many dangerous weapons, practical combat armor, or tools of domination, because a top predator would already have weapons, armor, and domination over everything they beheld. A lion or gorilla doesn't need to build a wall to stay safe at night. That's why humans are so dangerous. We are weak, small, frightened little creatures from halfway down the food chain who got so good at working together, we eliminated all the actual top predators on this planet, plus more, because we feared those creatures. Maybe if we didn't have the confidence of real predators, we wouldn't have seen them as a threat at all. Maybe the lions and the gorilla need a wall after all. Hell, put some ivermectin and adrenaline into Joe Rogan, he could take down a gorilla by himself. Humanity, fuck yeah.
When y'all see what that gorilla do to the first 3 niggas, when that gorilla start throwing niggas around like nunchucks, just picking nigga up by his legs and just start doing whatever, and all his guts fall out of his ears and shit, I want to know who's gonna keep charging the gorilla after that. If it was 100 men in a park, say Central Park, Million Man March, if they said it's a gorilla loose, every nigga in that park will start running for cover.
These men would be signing up, so it wouldn't just be like random. That's fine, right? But the only thing,
my cousin signed up for Afghanistan. He wasn't prepared. What does that mean? Just because you could sign up don't mean you ready.
No, but
he got shot in the leg in North Africa and was like, I'm going to Temple University.
Yeah, it's over.
My strategy after watching everyone's strategy this weekend, I think still stands. They're ticklish. Sacrificing at least 6 of the guys from Chicago, and the other 6 can tickle. Like, while he's tearing apart everyone from O-Block,
yo,
we can have somebody get behind him and tickle him.
When you see the
somebody else stick they thumb up his ass.
That's not enough. Y'all not listening.
You think that's affecting a gorilla?
Y'all are gonna die, man. I would pay top dollar to see 100 stupid niggas jump in the pit with a gorilla. That gorilla is gonna take you niggas apart like Mr. Potato Head.
Forget me now. Me as a prime strongman, like I was 430 pounds. I genuinely think 2, not 1. I think 1 would get mauled to death, but I think 2 Eddie Hulls at the prime with a combined weight of 860 pounds would dominate a gorilla. You would just pin it down and just hammer fist it to death. I think 2 big Eddie Halls would do the job.
You're saying just two Eddie Halls?
At my biggest. I'm 150 kilo now. At my biggest, it was nearly 200 kilo. So I think at my biggest, 2 Eddie Halls would dominate a silverback gorilla.
Wow. I mean, maybe that's the 2-on-1 that we're talking about. Some sort of. Could you imagine that?
The first 20 dudes are really sacrificial lambs. They're going to die. The morale of the group has got to be great because 20 of you know you're going to die. The other 80 have to figure out a plan to actually hurt the gorilla. And in the end, I think all 100 men die.
It's all about mentality. You're absolutely right. To watch the first 20 go down, it may be like Patrick Ewing in the NCAA tournament with Georgetown, where even though they were goaltends, it was like, dude, I don't want to go in there. And I'd like to think if you had 100 guys with the right mentality, they would find a way.
Do you have any idea? And it's
I don't, actually, because I've never watched a gorilla fight a lot of guys.
You don't have to watch him fight. You've been to the zoo before. You can have an open mind. You can have a game plan. As Mike Tyson said, everybody's got a plan until they get hit in the mouth. When you see the gorilla hit the first dude and knock him 25 feet in the air.
If that happens and we have a group that's second guessing, then it's a mopping. I need guys, we're grabbing 100 guys from prison, and if you win, you have years taken off of your sentence.
You need Jon Snow. That's what you need. You need Jon Snow leading the charge.
Yeah, but if he doesn't have a sword, he's too small. That's not going to do much for you.
I think it's obvious that 100 men could kill one gorilla. Not even just like men, like 100 people. If you got 100 people, they can kill the gorilla. And I've seen pictures of gorillas, okay? I understand. That's why I'm not saying like everybody's gonna walk away from it. A couple of y'all trying in that 100 are gonna die a death that no person should have to go through. Like, and the people watching are gonna be traumatized for the rest of their lives seeing this death from a gorilla. But like, humans, we can put it down. I want to be positive and be like, yeah, 97 of us are gonna be walking away. No, it's probably gonna be like 42. The gorilla's gonna get a lot of us. But 100 of our biggest, most determined, the will to live fighters are gonna get that gorilla down. I fully believe that. Like, we humans, we're at the top for a reason, and I think technology makes people forget that. But hey,
who do you think would win in a fight? 100 men or one gorilla?
Gorilla, for sure. Easy. They're strong beasts.
100 men or one gorilla? Ooh. 100 men in a circle, one gorilla in the middle?
Yeah.
100 men.
The gorilla is massive. One swipe on your...
Yeah, but I reckon like 16 of me could take down the gorilla.
One gorilla.
I want to say the gorilla, but 100 men is a lot, so...
It's a lot of men, isn't it?
Maybe the men.
100 men.
Yeah. Why do you think that?
I mean, it's 100 to 1.
It has been confirmed 100 men could not beat a silverback gorilla in a fight. And if this video representation isn't enough, here's exactly why. It really boils down to the gorilla's speed, strength, and durability. Gorillas can lift over 1,800 pounds, and with one bite, it's about 1,300 psi of pressure. Don't forget they have explosive agility, but taking all that in consideration, their skin is extremely resistant to human punches. The only chance that they would have of beating a silverback gorilla is if they had weapons. But hey, if you're still into it, I'm sure there's a gorilla that's been in captivity his whole life that would love to go 100-on-1.
My Who's Back of the Week is embracing debate.
Oh, what's that?
This was a tweet
he's gonna steal it from you.
that got 180 million views.
Holy shit.
This past weekend. I think 100 friends could beat one gorilla. Everybody just got to be dedicated to the And that sparked a debate across the internet with people saying whether or not 100 people could or could not defeat one gorilla in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
I am firmly of the belief that 100 people could easily beat a gorilla in a fight. Okay, all right.
I think 10 guys that could really hold their own, that knew what they were doing, like 10 UFC fighters.
But the key part of this
10
is everyone's got to be about the
Yeah, you got to be about the
because the first guy who goes in is going to get his head ripped off by the gorilla, and then everyone else has to be like, but hold on, we got to still do this together.
It's got to be like the Nazi meth soldier.
Well, if it's one by one, no.
Well, no, I know, but like someone's dying.
Like the advantage that we have as human beings is that we can do a battle plan, put that together. We're not going to go after this guy like like bad guys go after Steven Seagal, where it's
Right.
like, okay, I'm going to run at him, then he's going to step to the side, touch me, then I'll have a heart attack and die. Then you go at him. No, you got to just, if you're about to you got to I think you could do it with 10 if they're heavyweights. You just surround, you grab limbs, and then you just start breaking bones.
Yeah.
You just start breaking bones.
But
How?
one
How
person-
does one break a bone?
I would honestly just grab his windpipe and snap it. Done.
I think you get 2 guys that just go for the eyes. Yeah, take the eyes out. If you get the eyes, then you can beat the fuck out of anything.
Also, do gorillas have balls? I'd assume they do. Just fucking hammer his balls.
I was thinking that too.
They got balls. They got tiny dicks.
The problem, though, is what happens when the gorilla gets a hold of one person and rips his head off, and then everyone's like, fuck.
Or just starts swinging him around like a Donkey Kong.
Right. Is everyone still about that shit?
You have to stay about this shit.
How strong is a gorilla compared to a human? Since there has been so much talk about 100 humans versus 1 gorilla, here is the strength differences. For this, I'm assuming this is the strongest gorilla possible, which would be a silverback. The height of this gorilla would be 6 foot, weighing around 500 pounds, but also having an 8-foot wingspan. Now, an average male stands at 5'9", weighing around 200 pounds. Unfortunately, a gorilla won't do a 1-rep max on a bench press for some bananas, which would be pretty awesome to see. And the strength metrics of a gorilla online range from 1,000 pounds to 4,000 pounds, but using real-world experiences of what we've seen gorillas do, they easily uproot trees. They also shatter protective zoo glass. Now, bites and strikes would be huge for a gorilla, and it seems like they would be 10 times the strength of a human. The one thing humans may have on the gorilla is fatigue as well. Kicks from a human can produce a ton of energy, and I think I have to go with humans defeating a gorilla, especially if you take away the fear factor of both the animal and human. There would have to be as many people holding the gorilla down while like 10 guys like kick him in the head. I don't even know. But I will be honest, I would not want to be the first person to take this gorilla on. I would definitely want to be towards the back of the line.
Anyways, it depends on the mental state of all of the men. If none of them fear death, I think you could probably do this with 50. If you simply assign 10 men to each limb, that's 40. You might lose a couple, but their main goal is to control that one limb. If they just pin down that one limb, then they can just, finish the job after that.
This 100 men versus 1 gorilla shit got me crying because people really think that they could beat a silverback gorilla. We already heard the breakdowns. We know what a silverback gorilla could do. We know how big that shit is. We know what it's capable of. But let's talk about the 100 men. 50 of those 100 men is stone cold ass. And once you see that gorilla tear somebody's head off or pick somebody up and throw them like a block long, those 50 that's ass gonna be even more ass. And then let's point out the fact that that gorilla will bite the shit out of you. Now the man versus dog thing, more suitable. Dog ain't beating my ass. I will choke a dog ass out. Been dealing with dogs my whole entire life. Dogs don't fear me. Biggest dogs don't fear me. But a silverback gorilla, I ain't saying I'm scared. But what I'm saying is I'm very, very smart. And with that being said, I understand that it's only a couple of ways we gonna be able to win. And it's not with bare hand. I seen somebody say, I'll throw dirt in the gorilla's eyes, and after the dirt get in his eyes, he'll be discombobulated. Really? You gonna get your ass beat. Matter of fact, he gonna send you to your grandmama. Wherever your grandmama at, if she ain't heaven, he gonna send you there. Again, I'm not scared of nothing walking this earth, but I am very smart. And I know for a fact, once that gorilla get turned up, it ain't no turning down. That gorilla is made to whip ass. 50 of the 100 men, stone cold ass. 25 of the 50 that's not ass, can't take an ass whipping. And the last 25, well, the last 24, because I'm the smart one. The last 24 is gonna get their ass tossed all the way up. Leave these animals alone. I'm out.
Maybe I'm confused because we're not talking about 100 random men from Earth. We're talking about 100 of the baddest men on the planet versus 1 gorilla. And y'all think the gorilla for the win. Let me tell you something. If aliens came down right now and they said, I'm gonna eviscerate this planet and your universe, if y'all can't pick 100 men from y'all planet to beat a gorilla, y'all think the gorilla finna beat us? You're not thinking. I feel like some of y'all ain't never been in a fight before. Cause y'all so weak-minded, y'all think the gorilla just gonna beat us. We are the top of the food chain, homie. There's a reason for that. Gorilla can't just run up and do what he want to do. Listen, they say y'all can pick 99 of the greatest humans on the planet. I say 99 because y'all already got me. And I'm gonna tell you something right now. You give me a pair of headphones that got Finito playing in a can of Bang Energy, I promise you that gorilla gonna see something. He gonna feel something for real. I'm gonna give him something. On 22nd quarter, on Deuceville, on 22, on everything I love. That gorilla finna feel something. I may not make it, but that gorilla gonna feel something. Now go get 99 more. I promise you it's going down. I seen Van Lathan was holding the sign. The sign said something about, we finna send out the big dudes first, and then we gonna send out the runners. Like Usain Bolt. Why is Usain Bolt on your top 100? We gotta put the gorilla down, not run from it. Why are you putting Usain? You talking about misdirection. The gorilla not looking at people who ready. He killing whoever touching them right now. Okay? We need the biggest, baddest man on the planet. I need John Jones. Okay? I need Tom Aspinall. I need Eddie Hall. I need Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua. I need the biggest and the baddest. And y'all got me. I'm trying to tell you, it's not gonna go down the way y'all think it's gonna go down. Gorilla just gonna be running around eating and stomping through people. You know gorillas get tired too. They don't got no crazy stamina like that. They can go crazy in maybe 5 minutes. We built for longer. I'm telling you that right now. We built for way longer than that. We can go 10 minutes strong. Y'all not really paying attention. I feel like y'all don't really got faith in humanity like that. Y'all weak-minded. Y'all ain't never been jumped, and y'all ain't never jumped nobody. Let me tell you something right now. You go get whoever you want on this planet. Let me go get 5 of my homeboys. Just 5. Over with. I don't care who it is. We finna put them down. If you trying to tell me 100 of us can't grab a gorilla, gouge his eyes out, hold his limbs down, and stomp that gorilla to death? No, we finna stomp a mile in that gorilla, homie. Y'all boys weak. I know the deal for real. You can't stop 100 or nothing. You're not finna stop 100 of the baddest men on the planet. I'll tell you right now, John Jones, the baddest man on the planet right now. You give me 100 teenagers, he's not gonna be able to beat them. Let me go get 100 teenagers from Earth. I'm talking the biggest, baddest ones, the ones that be in Dagestan 3-4 years forget. They come back, yeah, they finna put him down. I understand he's the baddest man on the planet, but he can't stop 100 of them at once. Maybe in waves, but not at once, okay, Mr. Beast? Listen to what I'm saying. If you decide to do one of these 100 men versus gorilla thing, come get me on 22nd quarter, on everything I love on the court, on Deuceville, homie. Just come get me, because I promise you right now, gorilla don't want to see me one-on-one. He definitely don't want to let me pick a 99 of the baddest. Let you know that right now. They not even the king of their own jungle. Y'all worried. Man, I got this.
Who wins? 100 men or 1 gorilla?
100 men. We've been capturing gorillas for years.
Big facts.
100 men are not beating 1 gorilla. Now, I got my degree in anthropology. You do study some primate stuff with that. Let me explain why 100 men are definitely not beating 1 gorilla. Let me know if you agree or disagree. What you're not factoring in for is the reality of human emotion, because what is going to happen is a few men are going to have to engage with this gorilla. They are going to get ripped apart, thrown, dismembered so badly that provides an emotional effect to the others watching this, okay? They have to see that, they have to witness that, and they have to then think, how am I going to approach this gorilla? They're going to be timid, they are just either not going to approach the gorilla. 100 men are not beating 1 gorilla. It's just not going to happen. This is why human beings invented weapons, because one guy with 1 strap is beating a gorilla. So that's why we did that.